It's not that easy to run a political party. It's nothing to do with money. It is constantly you have to engage people in dialogue. So how could you engage in dialogue unless you have mad convictions within yourself and you should be able to live it? See, first of all, I know Y.S. Jagan even much before he became MP. Imagine this guy when his father died. On the day of when he was not been cremated, he wants to be a CM. That was the issue. Jana Sena is the one which saved the state. Jana Sena is the only party which will come out on the street and fight with these thugs and scum. See, when Mr. Shah Rukh Khan's son was in jail, and I was the first one to condemn it in my own political party meeting. So for me, there are certain things in an alliance, not necessarily you have to agree with everything. See, what we look at as an alliance is 70 to 80% if you agree upon things, and 20% always there will be difference, even between the same family members. So TDP has got a very great, very deep-rooted structure who knows electioneering very well. Jana Sena is with brimming with new blood, and they are the fighters. Skill census should be an extension of caste census. That's what I believe.
So you're all for caste census, that there should be
You
caste
cannot
census.
avoid it.
Yeah.
Assemblies should be known for the greatest debates possible for the welfare of the people. Here it's becoming a personal abuse center halls. And there should become a law for the lawmakers where you should not violate, you should not get into personal life. That is essential for the health of the democracy.
Hello and welcome to the joint election coverage by News Laundry and the News Minute. This is my colleague Bala, and we are here in Visakhapatnam to speak to a politician who gets massive crowds every rally he conducts. And this time he may very well become the kingmaker of the election. Joining us today is the leader of the Jana Sena, Pawan Kalyan.
Thank you.
It's been 10 years since you launched the political party. If I ask you now, do you see yourself as an actor first or a politician first, or has the actor been pushed to the background?
No, I never myself till now. I mean, all these years, I had never myself I had never seen myself as an actor because it was a very reluctant entry into cinema. I'm a bit shy and awkward to act, and I'm very hesitant to come in front of crowds. So whatever I'm doing, either in politics or cinema, is completely with my personality. It is a completely opposite.
But then how do you manage? The crowds are insane when
Maybe
they
I
see.
think necessity makes you to do it. So when it comes to cinema, in fact, I grew up in Chennai, so I was very scared. I was very shy. So finally, I think lack of choice, I had to embrace something to make a living. So finally, I think bit by bit, I think I lost my little shyness and all, but I could manage a little bit in cinema. I mean, not to keep that away. When it comes to politics, I didn't struggle at all because I have a mad anger, mad convictions. Because I grew up on many biographies of ideologies. I have my own thinking, maybe reading so much. Maybe for me, deep down, I was searching for some kind of ideology, how to live within this kind of social structure. Suddenly, imagine if I grew up in Chennai. Suddenly, I become a what do you call it? Goldie. I used to understand. I feel, oh, this is my country. How come these people call me Goldie in school? I studied in Mylapore for a year. So everywhere, it's not just in Tamil Nadu. I'm not saying trying to the linguistic, but even within the state, even within Andhra, if you go from one district to another district, there is some kind of accent will change, certain words will change, and again you will be ridiculed. So for me, it was a big struggle for me as a kid. And by then, in my 8th grade, my brother was established as an actor. So our economic situation didn't change. My father was a government employee. Just because my brother was an actor, by then we didn't have anything special. But people used to ridicule me. They think that, okay, my brother is an actor. They used to put me down. So I could never understand. I was trying to, and what I could not understand is this lot of patriotism in school books and everything. Actually, I believed them. They would exist, but I could not believe certain teachers or certain elders' behavior, and certain political leaders who used to come for to come for school programs. I think that's how it triggered. Slowly, I was more of an observer than anything else. It's not that I thought of engaged in politics right from it. No, I was quite an observer of my own life and the society around me, and the injustice really makes me to contemplate. And I was searching for answers, only to live, and not for anything else, not even for cinema, not even for politics. I said I want to live confidently in society. And I abide by, I follow my rules, I abide by rules. How come I go through? How come all these thugs could survive? How come I should be scared of them? I never had answers. So I was thinking about left movements, I was thinking about extreme movements. At one point of them, unless you become a thug also, you can't survive. Something like that, so many, especially in the teens, and I was going through a lot. But finally, I think after I got, so within that, I went into yoga, I went into meditation. I went to Tirupati for some Kriya Yoga and Kundalini Yoga. All these things didn't satisfy me. Finally, I found a path in cinema, and I was forced to make a living. After a few years, still my heart is so restless. And I was thinking, what exactly is it? Though I've become quite big, quite known name, still I had the same insecurity what I had as a teenager. So the more bigger you become, the more bigger enemies you make. You'll be, last time you were scared of a street thug around you, this time you're scared of a thug who is within the city. I'm tired of that, sick and tired of that, living out of fear. So I had seen so many people like me, injustice and everything. So finally I came out. I felt the only answer is not an NGO, to start a political party.
Why is the political party an answer to all this?
Because that's the only way, because we have to come to, we have to come under one umbrella. No? You have to have certain ideology, certain thought process. I felt I had seen, so I don't know, strangely I never thought of it, but whatever I believed in, I was putting in cinema. So a lot of people got gravitated towards it. They think I'm communicating something to them. Then I realized there are a group of people like me. So, of course, some personal incidents, some political families targeted us. And I think finally, I don't want to bend down. I think it's, I want to live with my head held high. And I came.
So the Jana Sena has been around for 10 years now. Electorally, you have not found too much success, but then you never gave up, right? I mean, I'm a reporter who reports on politics, and I've seen a lot of actors who want to come into politics and they do give up, including someone like Rajendran did not start the party. What kept you going despite all this?
I know, it's all fear of losing. Fear of losing is the biggest key. Then why do you have fear? Because I don't have any ego. I don't hold on to my actor position. I believe in certain ideological connect. I believe in certain idealistic principles. To live with that, to live for that, you should be willing to go through any kind of ordeal what life throws at you. And it's not that easy to run a political party. It's nothing to do with money. It is constantly you have to engage people in dialogue. So how could you engage in dialogue unless you have mad convictions within yourself, and you should be able to live it. I live whatever I say. So for me, it is a natural progression. Whatever I say, I just live it. If I say I like Kishore Kumar or something, it's not something Mr. Rajiv Sardesai has asked me, no, because I do it. So whatever is you, it should not become a kind of, an attached thing. If you have it within, do it. For me, politics is something within right from my childhood. But I never realized it was politics, but I thought it was social consciousness. and resentment again. I mean, when people violate human rights. So all these things put together made me. That's why I could not give up.
But it's a tough job being running a
Is.
party.
It is.
And you said you were a shy person.
See, I'm a shy person, but I never said I'm a scary guy.
But you have to interact with so many people on a daily basis now.
I do, but shyness is different. Shyness is like, even now sometimes I'm tired of, even I feel shy to even sometimes to ask for a vote. For me, what do you call it? You have to, you have to look at it like this. I'm a person who would like to do things, not seek things. So vote is like seeking something. Please, for me, it's the most easiest thing is I'll do this for you. That comes quite naturally. But if I say that vote for me, I feel a bit awkward, and that's where I feel.
Sir, I think perhaps that the same kind of attitude it is quite confusing the people also, because some people see that they don't know what exactly you want. What you want, they want either to say that do you want to lead the state, or do you want to take a back seat, they want to know what exactly you want.
See, the problem is with the people, not with me. The problem is we have become myopic. How many leaders? Did Subramanya Bharati was a leader? I mean, is he a political leader? Has he held any post? So people think political leaders means, okay, unless you aspire for the highest post, you don't. For me, it is fighting for the fundamental rights, to retain the fundamental rights, to uphold the human rights. They don't know the value of that. They think, okay, you have to become that. I think vote, everything is a very later part. There is a thing called empathy. See, the problem is with the way conditioned of the crowd mindset has become different, because they're completely disconnected with unless a real problem lands on them, they don't know.
So those in Pawan Kalyan rallies, if he's not seeking vote, you know why. That's because he's thinking of other things. Bala, you want to move on to TDP?
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, you initiated, why did you decide to ally with TDP, and was it Chandrababu Naidu's arrest the most pushing factor for you to make an announcement before even consulting with the BJP?
No, it's not like that. Because what is being seen outside and what keeps happening within are entirely different. It cannot be seen. Anything is a very incremental progression. See, first of all, I know Y.S. Jagan even much before he became MP. Because I grew up after Chennai, I shifted to Hyderabad. With a great hue and cry, I had to shift because of, the Telugu film industry got shifted. Then I had seen this guy was growing up then, same time. And I keep hearing stories. We lived in the same neighborhood. I keep hearing it. And the worst part is, there are a lot of gundagardi. Even I heard it then. For me, what they have done, what kind of violations they have done, I know it. So when imagine this guy, when his father died, on the day of, when he was not been cremated, he wants to be a CM. That was the issue. And how selfish that could be. Okay, that is also not an issue. Okay, that's their politics and everything. My problem is, no matter who becomes CM, it's not an issue for me. But if you come and finger into everyone's life, I have a problem with that. Not necessarily with me, with anyone. Because it's very easy to say very heroic dialogues in cinema. But the toughest job is to come out and stand against this kind of oppression. So I had seen, after post-bifurcation, I could see the state's instability. Imagine growing up in Chennai. I think this is my nation, right? Suddenly you are called as guilty. That hurts you. But you make a living, okay, that's fine. You bear the insult, you move on. I'm not saying this happens to me. Even some other state guy comes to the Andhra, maybe they'll tell a different story. I'm not saying it happened to only one Telugu group. It's not that. It is the nature of human. the divisiveness. So imagine at every level, when you go to Telangana, suddenly I have become Andhra guy. I was pushed from Tamil Nadu, pulled out from Tamil Nadu, put in Andhra. For me, it is Andhra. Suddenly I become an Andhra. For me, suddenly I didn't become an Telanganite. I have a huge fan base, fan following, and I struggled a lot. Then I was pulled out. I'll come back here, then suddenly say I'm a non-local here. Who am I? And these guys say, even Jagan says right now I'm a non-local. In this pull and push, people take advantage. For me, I want to curtail, I want to curb. And we never had a choice. We've been constantly being uprooted. We said one capital, we have three capitals. Those three capitals yet to be seen. And there is immense, imagine 30,000 women got disappeared in the state. And 25,000 worth of crores of property has been mortgaged in Vizag alone. 7,000 plus 7,000 plus schools, which are given by the, 7,000 schools, which runs on donors. And they've been taken away. And normally in this kind of aided schools, rather than aided schools and colleges, 7,400 aided schools and colleges have been taken back. They have been closed. Around 61 to 68,000 kids died. Children from the age of 5 to 18. It's not being seen. It's not being heard. They hushed it up. So all these things put together, and the vendetta game, you cannot raise a voice. If someone violates your basic fundamental protest, it is a violation. They put you attempt to murder case. And imagine at every level, if it is happening to me, it is happening to everyone, not just me, at every level. And I have the strength and guts, and only because of such mass following I have, I was able to withstand. And if I ask you something in the assembly, straight away they hit you, your household people of your house, your women. So all these things boiled up to a point. I think this enough is enough. I think we should go back to the 2014 formula. People vote should not get split, and we should come together. There are differences. I'm not saying we don't have differences, but differences can be kept away for a larger benefit. That's how we joined with TDP and BJP.
Yeah, sir, regarding the data which you have just said about the 33,000, this has been contested because the NCRB data contradicts what you have been saying.
No.
Right?
It is there. You have to check. You have to check the Union Home Minister for State here. He said it in Parliament. You have to look at it.
I just want to just continue with the question on TDP. I remember the last time, 5 years ago, when we had interviewed you, you had told me at that time that the TDP is a dead party and you are only contesting against Jagan. But now you're back with the TDP. So my question to you is, how do you see TDP and Jana Sena strengthening each other, one? And second is, have you also now figured out that politics is also about compromising and adjustment?
No, you cannot say compromise. For me, I'm very clear. You have to understand, I came from a very, very pragmatic political path.
You call it pragmatism.
I call it pragmatism. How do you work it out? You tell me. A mere simple... See, I look at it as very simple. How do you move forward without compromising your values? There is a middle path. Because for me, in a political process, what choice do you have to move? Unless you have to become an NGO, or else you have to become some extreme movement where you have got nothing to do with politics, or else you should become a pressure group. I don't want to be that. I want to have this voice to be heard in assembly. In Germany and all, there are certain few parties like Green Party. They align with other parties. There's a coalition governments. So out of each one's necessity, whether they like it or not, okay, there is some kind of compromising formula. Okay, you allow my principle, you allow my policies like that, I allow your policies. Somewhere they come to a balance and they go together. So with TDP, it's also like that. It is not simple political convenience. It is also like, how do we say, okay, I'll give up this much, you give up this much, and we will, these are the fundamental common minimum program we do.
But what is that line that you will not cross, especially because you're also in alliance with the BJP, right?
Lines that will not cross, what exactly do you mean?
For example, out of the 7 values of the Jana Sena, the second one is, the first one and the second one is about there will be no differences based on religion.
Yeah.
The BJP is under criticism for the last 2 weeks, especially for the kind of speeches being made. I don't know if you have noticed this during your campaign, but there was an advertisement they put out, which they've removed now, which they said that all you non-Muslims beware, your property will be taken
No,
and given to
Instagram had to
Muslims.
pull it down.
Yeah, no, I think BJP removed
Maybe
it.
in this, I don't, definitely we don't, if that kind of advertisements, we don't agree. In fact, very simple I can say, see, when Mr. Shah Rukh Khan's son was in jail, and I was the first one to condemn it in my own political party meeting. So for me, there are certain things in an alliance, not necessarily you have to agree with everything. See, what we look at as an alliance is 70 to 80% if you agree upon things, and 20% always there will be a difference, even between the same family members. So majority are we in agreeing together or not? That's what it is.
How does the TDP and Jana Sena strengthen each other, do you think?
Because TDP has got a very great, very deep-rooted structure, who knows electioneering very well. Jana Sena is brimming with new blood, and they are the fighters. And Jana Sena is the one which saved the state. Jana Sena is the only party which will come out on the street and fight with these thugs and scum. So we complement each other, their experience and our fighting force.
From different, you have allied with the left in the past, and now you have allied to the extreme right in that sense. How do you see this ideological position? How do you see this?
So if I look at it, see, when I grew up in Chennai, I used to go to Maximal Abound, right? I had seen a film about West Germany and East Germany had a wall in between. I had seen this film in somewhere in, say, in 89, I think German wall broke, right? Yeah. In 87, I had seen 86 or 87. And it was a great struggle. Someone guys take a balloon, an air-filled balloon to hop into Germany, just cross the wall. I felt very painful. Oh God, what a film it is like. It's so sad to divide a city. And within no time, they broke the wall. So ideologies sometimes, they can be myopic. So you cannot stick to, for example, say, in Telugu, I don't know exactly in English how to say, Prapancha Karmikulara Ekam Kante.
Yeah.
All the universal labor come together.
Yeah.
So this is what I was saying to Gadar when he was alive. I was calling him, I said, you said all the world labor should come together. How come we got separated as Andhra labor and Telangana labor? Violation of labor rights are anyway. A job for either labor from Andhra or Telangana is the same. So things do change. So ideas do, because as each decade passes by, a lot of things keep changing. You have to be aware of it. You cannot be rigid. At the same time, you don't have to be too loose and too flexible. But somewhere, it is always like waving, surfing on a wave. You have to manage. If you stick to it, then what happened to Communist Party now? From one single unified Communist Party, it became two. Now it is non-existent, almost, in Andhra.
But do you believe still in the left ideals, sir?
All of us see, left idea is nothing but, it is Vasudaika Kutumbam. It is not something Karl Marx has created or Karl Marx has found out. It's Vasudaika, it's a fundamental human right. All are created equal. But all are not created with equal abilities and capacities. As a society, we have formed together, depending on the evolving times, we create different rules and regulations to balance it out.
So I think since you have to go, we'll quickly wrap up with one or two quick questions. When you come to power, one of the things the manifesto says that you will have a skill census.
Yeah.
But the discussion in the country is also about a caste census. What do you think of that?
See, it's very easy because all of them, just today we are five of us there. I don't have to know you. Today you came here more because of your ability and skill. Caste is something like there is an injustice or because of the social structure we have, no matter whichever country you go, every culture you go. Even if all of us are one caste, still there will be a disparity. If all of us are one race, still there will be a disparity. If you look at Thomas Sowell, the economist and the social philosopher, he quotes the same thing. You cannot wipe out You cannot bring out the individual capacity. Even in one family, even if you give them the same education and same capacity, same school and everything, they cannot grab the equal up. They cannot be equals. They cannot have the same equal IQ. So for me, what I look at is definitely one part you have to understand according to the social structure that has to be taken into consideration. You have to take that census. And with that, what I'm saying is, we want India to be a superpower in 2047. But how do you understand? For me, a guy, I didn't even know that I had the capacity to act, to perform. And vice versa, many people out there, we don't know what the capacity is unless you go and ask them. Some guys will be confused after some time. So what you have to do, suddenly when I look at some kind of coloring, suddenly I'll get hooked onto coloring. Suddenly when I look at you, some kind of, the kind of questions you make a news out, maybe I want to become a news anchor. So my thing is, okay, guys, what do you want to learn? You take that census, with the caste census. I want to learn this, I want to learn that. Because here what we are saying, in Telangana or anywhere, okay, for Yadavas, for all this particular caste, I'll give you Gorilu, Barlu, the buffaloes and sheep.
The same thing, like again,
And
the
for,
imposing of the caste.
for Kshur Karma, for what do you call
Mangali.
it? I don't know what, we call it Kshur Karma. In English, what do you call it? Barber. See, maybe he want to go out of something. Maybe he want to become something else. Maybe there is a great sculptor there. Maybe he's a great painter. Maybe there's a great scientist in a BC family. So how do you do it? Okay, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. Okay, my job is over. I don't want to end with that. It should be, skill census should be an extension of caste census. That's what I do.
So you're all for caste census, that there should be
You
caste
cannot
census.
avoid it.
Yeah. And my last question, sir.
I also have a last question, but yes, continue. Yeah, continue, Bala. Yes.
Sir, in the past you have attacked both the TDP and YSRCP for not implementing the Kapu reservation. So after your government comes
No,
into
on Kapu reservation, I just expressed my mind. For me, anything, if you say commit something, you better do it. Because they have committed, they will do it. And TDP didn't say they have done it. They will do it. And Jagan said, he said, he didn't say that he would do it. None of them agreed on that. That's the issue of Kapu reservation. Because beyond a certain percentage, we cannot give a reservation. That is a fact of in the courts, in constitution. So what I'm trying to say is the leaders who initiated the movement, don't blindly guide youth. Be aware what you're getting them into. Don't keep them high and dry, and they would lose, a decade would be lost in their lives. And you can never get it back. And on the top of it, if you make it more violent any moment, they lose their life. They're in their prime age will be going to courts and all. In that sense, I said. But I said, if you don't achieve it, that means you have to stop their growth. You find an alternative ways to give them employment, whatever the social upliftment they need. That's how I look at it. Yeah, yours is the last question.
My final question, I'm not going to ask you to sing, but one thing that I feel, elections come and go, but the civic discourse in the elections in Andhra Pradesh seem to be doing worse and worse, all the comments made on private lives. And do you think that there has to be a change on that? Because
definitely. There should be a change. Because the assemblies should be known for the greatest debates possible for the welfare of the people. Here it's becoming a personal abuse center, halls. And there should become a law for the lawmakers where you should not violate, you should not get into personal life. That is essential for the health of the democracy.
But we don't see that happening here. And it's not just inside assembly, it's
the
outside
best way
too.
is when people revolt. That's what is happening to YCP leaders. They're getting, what do you call it? They're getting they're getting the music back. They're hearing the same music, what they have given it to people.
Also, you should never give a journalist a final question, because I have one more final question. If the alliance does come to power, would we see Pawan Kalyan in the cabinet?
First, let me finish these elections. Let us this alliance become victorious. Then I'll give you an interview. Then I'll answer in that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pawan Kalyan. So that was Pawan Kalyan telling us quite a few candid things about what he likes, didn't like, why he came into politics, and why he continues. And perhaps the most important thing, why he thinks it's okay to be in different alliances. For more deep conversations this election, you know which channel to tune to, the News Laundry and the News Minute. Do continue watching, and remember, this is an ad-free election coverage. We want your support, so become a subscriber of both these websites.
This election season, your right to choose puts you at the heart of it again.
We'd like to be your eyes and ears.
Choose the journalism and media that serves democracy and you.
Simply log on to newslaundry.com/2024 election fund and choose an amount of your choice for the reports of your choice.